So this paper investigates the memory of colonial mass violence against African women as articulated, preserved, and transmitted through performance in Brett Bailey's Exhibit B. It pays particular attention to the collusion of racism and colonial sciences towards African women's bodies. It traces the systematic use of sexual violence and the institutionalization of rape during and in the aftermath of the 1904 to 1908 German aggression in present-day Namibia. I suggest that this sexual aggression on prisoners of war and colonial subjects in concentration camps was part of and was condoned by the colonial expansionist policies of Kaiser, William. The sexual aggression and measures found expression and were echoed in racist pseudoscience like eugenics and racial hygiene. I will focus on the sections of the exhibition that evoke the memory and document the systematic rape, sexual slavery, humiliation, sexualized medical experiments perpetuated in colonial Namibia. I use Exhibit B to investigate how performance enacts the memory in response to the social amnesia accompanying colonial genocide. I examine the deployment of performance to animate archival texts to create images. In doing so, I explain and explore how images tell histories and stories through performance. Exhibit B comprises of 12 silent tableaus arranged along a path. They recall distinct historical epochs using conventions of museum display. The performance starts as soon as audience members queue up to enter the exhibit. Once invited inside, audiences are asked to sit on a bench of rows, and they are handed numbered cards, and they are asked to wait in absolute silence to enter the exhibition. Once your number is called, you will enter the exhibition one at a time, and there is a time separation of about 10 to 15 minutes so that every individual audience member can move through the exhibition on their own. The work is performed by a core team comprising of 4 Namibian musicians and 14 to 16 African immigrants or asylum seekers that Brett Bailey selects in the host city that he performs in. In 1905, the Germans established concentration camps for African people, including a special rape camp. This installation recreates a German military officer's living quarters. An assortment of objects hang on the walls. They range from a cross, hunting trophies, to guns and framed images of severed heads. These items were popular as postcards, and in some of the photos, girls and women were forced to pose nude or to expose their breasts as German officers posed around them, laughing and smiling, and they were also made into postcards, souvenirs, and other memorabilia. Here, an African woman sits stiffly upright on the bed. The woman is shackled by her neck, hands, and feet to the bed. She is naked from the waist up and with her back to the audience. In front of her is a mirror through which she stares. She makes eye contact with every audience member as they come into the room. Audience members will look at her and look into the mirror, lock eyes with her, and see their images reflected back. I will cite Brett Bailey's exposition of this installation in the backstory created for the performer sitting on the bed at length. And Brett Bailey says, I tell the woman, you were in your village one night and your husband was out fighting. Your father was out fighting. You've got 2 children. Early in the morning, before the sun rises, there is a fire. You hear gunshots. People are screaming. You run from the house. You grab the children. One child falls, and you don't see that child again. You hide in a bush, and you see a rape going on. In the morning, they find you. Your house is on fire, and your mother was in that house. You walk for days, and you're in the concentration camp now. You've been here for a long time. It's freezing. Your child is coughing all the time. There are children dying from cholera all around you, and a soldier comes around and tells you to go with him. He takes you and you know you're going to be raped by him afterwards. And you submit because it means he's going to give you food for your child. You're sitting on the bed, waiting for all this to happen. When you see an audience member enter the room in the mirror, it's the German officer. I will now move on to the second installation. This tableau references the concentration camps where survivors of the colonial war in Namibia were held. It is set to the ambience of a melodic 19th century romantic light. A large regal woman in Herero traditional dress, complete with a distinctive knotted kerchief around her head. She's holding a shard of glass in her right hand and a human skull in her left. She sits on the pedestal entirely covered with small glittering glass shards. In front of her, to the left and to the right, are two high wooden posts. Strands of barbed wire are strung between them. A sign written in Deutsch is attached to the barbed wire and warns against electrocution. Torn shreds of clothing on the barbed wire suggest that someone tried to escape and tore their clothes in the attempt. To the left and to the right of the pedestal are two UN skulls, each in a small glass case. A plaque informs the audience that in the concentration camps on Shark Island, where Herero and Nama survivors were imprisoned, women were forced to boil and scrape skin off the severed heads of their families and communities. Executions and mortality rates were high, and it was from here that people were turned into research and collectors' specimens that were later deployed as the basis of Nazi anthropology. The skulls were then sent back to German museums, private collectors, universities, and research centers to furnish evidence of feasible anthropologists' racist theories. The melodic searing music added to the woman's posture and the glittering shards form a poetic image of acute cruelty. Here, four Namibian singers deliver a moving musical performance of songs of lamentation. The singers' heads, painted a glossy black, are visible above white pedestals covering their bodies, giving the impressions of live museum displays. Mounted on the wall behind and over these embodied singing heads are enlarged photographs of severed heads of Herero and Nama victims. The installation was titled The Cabinet of Eugene Fisher. Eugene Fisher, a physician, conducted notorious craniology studies of racially mixed people in Southwest Africa and Germany, and became a leading racist or racial scientist under the Nazis. Eugene Fisher gained recognition and fame for notorious studies on racial hygiene through forced sterilization experiments on racially mixed people in Namibia and Germany, the majority of whom were born as a result of the institutionalized rapes. According to the colony's governor, these measures were meant to ensure that the people endure a period of pain or leaden-sight in the concentration camps. This Governor General was Heinrich Ernest Göring, the father of Hermann Göring, who became a leading Nazi and Adolf Hitler's appointed second in command for a period of time. Eugene Fisher founded an institute in Berlin that taught eugenics and trained people like Joseph Mengele, nicknamed the Angel of Death, who performed human experiments at Auschwitz. Among other notorieties, Eugene Fisher championed the Nuremberg race laws in 1935, which were later deployed as the basis of South African apartheid laws. And although the general science regarded Eugene Fisher as a war criminal, he remained affiliated with many leading universities, including Freiburg University, until his death in 1967. The University of Freiburg still holds up to 1,500 remains in its collections from this era. By naming this station after Fisher, Brett Bailey emphasized the ideological continuities between colonial racial signs, the Nazi racial state, and post-war German democracy. The cabinet of Eugene Fischer reclaimed the murdered and desecrated from the visual archive of racial science and endorsed them with a kind of speech and visibility. Exhibit B can be understood as drawing on the performance form of the human zoo. The human zoo as performance exhibits otherness by emphasizing physical and cultural difference. This forces audiences to engage with the politics of representation. Staging the human zoo in blackface as performance in this day and age is a politically provocative act. Such a staging choice forces audiences to engage with the memory of the racial, sexual stereotypes that neutralized this form of representation, as well as its present-day manifestations. The concept of human zoo can be understood as to place a person with the intention that they should be seen in a specific reconstructed space, not because of what they do as an artisan, for example, but because of what they are, seen through the prism of real or imagined difference. I propose to extend Foucault's panopticon concept to read the human zoo as performance. Foucault defines the concept of panopticon as a sculpting technology and a regime of power and knowledge that, in which an all-seeing viewer and a defenselessly exposed or blind target meet each other in a context that guarantees maximum transparency of the target to the spectator and inaccessibility and immobilization of the spectator. The framing device of having performers returning the spectator's gaze does not allow exhibit B to be viewed or photographed without engagement, and can be viewed as the device that gives it its subversive power. The performance subverts the unidirectional gaze of the powerful who can watch while remaining unseen by their charges. For audiences, the result is a disconcerting transformation of the spectator into spectator. The viewer is suddenly under scrutiny, and the result detonates the status quo. This is reinforced by the silence that is asked of this audience and the artistic choice of stopping the performers from speaking to or with the spectators, or to engage them in any way except for the gaze. In conclusion, I suggest that Exhibit B evokes and condenses 5 centuries of invasion, annihilation, enslavement, and dehumanization that define the colonial civilizing mission through an aestheticization of pain. In placing the archive on the bodies of the performers and making the archive the repertoire, Exhibit B becomes disruptive by lending corporeal visibility to the memory of sexual abuse that marked colonial genocide. Exhibit B uses the liveliness of performance to animate the archive into an embodied commemoration of unacknowledged colonial genocide in Africa. Through its performativity, Exhibit B stands as an ephemeral and embodied site of memory in commemoration of unacknowledged experiences of women in genocide. Thank you.